my goodness, I'm so excited. I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas, an amazing New Year. All the things are like super fired up and ready to go. I actually took the first off and did no work. I took it as a Sabbath, which was really hard to do when they announced their announcements, but I stuck with it because I felt called to it, and I just kind of recharged. And I feel like that was one of the best things I could have done. Like, I am just so excited for everything going on right now. You guys heard me say it almost all of last year, but like, I believe so fully in this being the year, like the year everything changes, the year that all the seeds you've been planting come together, the year that all of the prayers are answered, all of the things that you have been fighting for and pushing for and believing for are finally gonna come together. As long as we stay faithful, as long as we keep God in the center, and as long as we keep doing the work and showing up. And so I'm just so on fire. And then, like, let's talk about corporate coming and just pouring more on that fire, dropping a distributor promo the first week of the year. What better way to start the year than with half off DT kits? Drop like a 1 in the chat if you are super excited about that. You are ready to go. Sign up all the dang distributors, because I know I have like a huge goal and my team's got a big goal. We are ready to go out and knock it out. There's no better time than right now to start a business. Literally, everyone is right now making 2 goals, right? For the most part, they either want to make more money or they want to lose weight. And guess what, you guys? You have the solution to both their problems. So it is the perfect time to have something as a little incentive, a little bit extra to help out with the people who, just spent the money on Christmas. And guys, the people who just spent the money on Christmas and are now like, crap, it's January. How am I going to do life? You got a solution. It's just coming together the perfect time. I'm so excited about it. So that's going to be the first part of what we're going to talk about really quickly. Our main focus tonight is going to be talking about charting, which I haven't done a Zoom or training on charting in literally like 2 years. And we now have like the app and it's so different. And I'm just struggling to teach everyone individually. So I was like, you know what? We need to make a resource. We need to have a place that we can talk about charting. And I think it's a great time here, literally like 2 days into the year, to start and talk about this, is because this is a core principle that you really need to know to run your business, to really grasp how to keep up with things, because charting, it's the roadmap. So with your goals of where you're going, you got to know how to get there. And if you don't understand how to put a chart together, you're going to wind up falling short for a goal or moving a customer to the wrong place. Versus if you know exactly what you need and where it is, you're able to self-sufficiently go out and make your goals happen. And so that's what we're going to be talking about mostly tonight. So the first thing I want to touch on before we jump into that is distributors, because that's a big part of charting, right? You got an empty chart when you start out and you got to fill it. So if you guys don't, we'll talk about charts in a minute. I don't know how to make my screen light so you guys can see it. If I turn it down, it's too dark. If I turn it up, it's too bright. I'll share screens in a minute. So charting, when you're looking at a chart, there's all of the boxes on there and you've got to put names in those boxes, right? You've got to bring people into your business, into your circle, into your family that you're going to help go out and make money. And so the first part of any chart is having the people to do this with. I was just talking to my girls earlier, and I was like, this business is so fun to make money, right? Like, right. You guys like to make money. It's fun. But what I can tell you 10 times over, the real fun, the real excitement, the real fulfillment, the real motivation, the real like light your soul on fire in a whole other level is when you start seeing other people make money. We have someone come in and earn their first bonus and you're like, heck yeah, I just helped this person close $50, close $100. I just helped this person get their first commission check. And then it keeps going from there. I just helped this person promote. And I just helped this person promote. One of my girls, you guys, got a check in December that was insane, okay? Like one of the biggest checks she's seen in her entire life, okay? And to know that I got to play a part in that is way bigger and better to me than any check I've ever earned. And so when you start bringing team in, everything changes, guys. You have more skin in the game. It's no longer, you can't afford the same excuses because it's not just me. If I don't feel like doing the work and I don't show up today, my business isn't the only thing going to be hurt. My team's going to be hurt. My newbies are going to be hurt. My leader's going to be hurt because I decided to selfishly step back, right? Like, and when we don't have that accountability, it's easier to just like let the excuses happen. When we start bringing people in, it's a whole nother game. You're no longer just working for yourself. And guys, we talked about it all last year, is the idea of legacy and how this business isn't the end all be all. This business isn't your purpose, that you were designed for something bigger. And this business is just the vehicle to help you achieve that, right? You're created for impact. You're created for reach. You're created to love people. You're created to expand your circle. And this business, it just gives you the ability to do all of those things, to bring love and God and light to the world in a whole nother way and get paid really well for it. Okay. And so we want to take that job seriously, especially starting the new year. And so your chart has to have people in it. You need to get to people this week. Not only do you have the promotion, which helps make it easier for you, it helps add an incentive, and it gives you the ability to help people get started who maybe couldn't afford to otherwise. But it also gets you all of your boxes filled, all of your people ready to go early in the month. And so for whatever you're pushing for this month, that means you've got 1 week out of the month that you got your people in. That gives you 3 weeks to work on customers and to work on training. That way you're having people coming in, they're going to start getting their own customers. They're going to start getting this business. They have time to grasp it and build with you towards your goal. Because every promotion is a lot easier and a lot more fun if you're not the only one doing it, okay? Been there, done that. I built my way all the way to double diamond. I saw a well above average double diamond paycheck. I've signed all the distributors and customers myself to make it happen. And you guys, it's not it. Like the pay was nice for the month or two that I was double, but you can't sustain something that you're having to do a breakneck pace to reach. When it's just you and you're the only one winning and you're the only one at the top, guys, it's not sustainable, and it sure as heck is not impact. You want to have legacy and you want to have impact, and that means you have to sometimes slow down to find your people, to hold their hand, to make sure that they're getting this, and then run with them. Because we're on a run right now where my team, we're pushing for a triple diamond in first quarter. And I've never been so excited to say that. And if you guys have been around, you've heard me say it a lot, but I've never been so excited to say it because it's not me. Like, yes, our team is going to promote, and that means I'm going to promote, but I know like that's Hannah going double. And like, you guys, double changed my life, okay? And I just know the impact it's going to have on her and her daughters and how that's going to affect them and what they're going to be able to do. They're working on wanting to buy a house. And I know that by working towards my goal, our goal as a team, that's what it's going to accomplish for her. I know Alicia's going emerald, and girlfriend has been around the block and she freaking deserves this. And she's been working so hard for it. It's finally lining up. She's excited. And I know the significance it's going to have with those babies and how it's going to affect them. I know Timoni's going diamond. And I'm like, dang girl, it's about time. She was one of my first distributors with me. She jumped back in and we're working towards that. And I know what it's going to do for her son. I know what it's going to do for her man. I know what it's going to be able to impact. And so me promoting my goals no longer about me, because I know the power it has beneath. I know what it means for my people. And so I know that I'm going to show up anyways, because if I decide not to show up, I'm stealing from Hannah's future. I'm taking from Timoni's future. I'm taking from Alicia's future. I'm not giving them what they deserve by taking like the pressure on putting it on me, like stepping back like that. And I'm not saying, you guys, y'all know I ain't hustle culture, okay? I'm not saying you need to be on your phone 24/7 this month. I'm not saying that you got to be doing all the dang things like 24/7, but I'm saying you got to be intentional. You got to set out and do the things that you're going to do. We don't ask a lot from you guys. We're asking you to do 3 shifts, okay? That's like 1 hour to 3 hours a day. All right? We're not asking for the sun and the moon. We're asking you to get 5 to 10 hosts to post up, okay? We're not asking for the moon. We're just asking for you to show up and show up consistently. And it's going to change your life, which is going to change the next person's life, which is going to change the next person's life. And that's how that impact and that legacy starts getting created. For you guys who haven't been around for a while, who are you kind of newer, maybe you haven't gone through a first quarter yet, this is what we call boom season, guys. This is what we call like that rare air. Everything is just different, okay? It's a little bit easier to sign customers. It's a little bit easier to sign distributors. It's a little bit easier to get up post to post. The energy during this season is just a little bit different. And now is your time to take your business by the reins. You press submit for a reason. You started your business for a reason. And it's time that we take that reason and we stop letting it be this prayer, this wish, this I hope, and make it reality. Make it concrete. Make it what's going to happen. we're going to do our shifts. We're going to get our host to post up. And by doing that all month long, you're going to be enrolling. You're going to be promoting. We're going to be making it happen. So that was a little bit of a tangent, but I want to make sure we have time for charting. So first part of it is definitely getting your distributors in. So let's see if I can share my screen. I'm going to feel so fancy if I get this figured out. We're going to focus while it's connecting. We're going to focus on Ruby. So if you guys are not Ruby, I want you to put a 1 in the chat because that means your goal this month is to go Ruby. If you are already Ruby, I want you to put a 2 in the chat because your goal is to help someone go Ruby this month. The whole compensation plan, all the way up to the top of the company, you guys, is built on this concept, is built on Ruby. And so Ruby, real simply, is right here. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Oh, I can. All right. Is you are this top box, and then there's 3 people under you. So that could be your mom. That could be your best friend. That could be a stranger you met online. That could be your kid's teacher. That could be your husband. Whatever that is, we have 3 people who are going to work on this business with you. And so when it comes to charting, first thing you want to do is you got to get the names in there. So if you don't have names, you're not going to put anything here. But for the sake of this, I'm actually going to do my husband's chart for you guys. So we'll do off of him. So we're going to do Daniel here. Daniel has all his distributors, and this is going to be a little bit more complex. So if you guys are not Ruby and you've never seen a chart, this is like the a little bit advanced version. Yours will be a lot easier because you're not going to have 5 years worth of distributors all over the place. So one of the really cool things that we're so thankful for that have come out this year is a projected volume tool in the It Works app. We used to have to do this 100% by hand. And I would literally spend like 4 hours doing charts on the first. So I'm so thankful for this. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up the It Works app. And you're going to go to the business tab at the bottom. You'll click on Team View. Okay, while it's loading, I'm going to go ahead and put his people in because I know who they are. So on my husband's Ruby chart here, we're going to have JC. We're going to have Alicia. And we're going to have Shannon. Okay. So if you don't have your people yet, this is your first goal this month. This week, you want to get your 3 people. And then if you don't, you're going to just like leave it blank. Okay. If you don't have a person there, you leave it blank until we get your person. So, let's see. I'm gonna do this in color. So each box is going to have to hit a minimum volume. Okay. So this is like, it doesn't matter if you have 2,000 in volume under you yourself to promote. Each box has to be at least this volume. So your 3 people with you have to be at least 400. And then you have to either run your 80 BV personal auto ship or 100 BV in sales for you personally. All right, can everyone see this? Look good? Perfect. Awesome. So if you add this up here, because I'm not going to do it by my noggin, we're going to go through here. So that's our 3 people with 400. And we're going to say that you have your sales. We're going to put you at 150 for easier math. That's 1350. So that for all of Ruby, you have to have 2,000 in volume. Okay. So to promote to Ruby, your entire team volume has to be 2,000. But if you look when we added up those boxes, it's only 1350. So if we take that from 2,000, that means that we've got an extra 650 in volume that can come from anywhere. So before we jump into the charting, I'm just walking through like kind of the setup of it, okay? So you've got to have you at least commission qualified by auto ship, running your own ADVV auto ship, or getting 150 in sales. And then you've got to have 3 people under you at 400 and a total of extra volume of 650. So that means, for example, if JC here, if she had 500 in volume, that extra 100, because she met her minimum of 400, that extra 100 is then going to come off of the 650 and take that down to an extra 550 you need. Because all in all, everything's got to add up to being at least 2,000 in volume from your team. Let's see. Okay. We're going to go to my husband here. Okay. So when you go, you're going to pull up your distributors. You'll go through, you won't have to go to someone. I'm just doing it this way for you guys. So when you pull it up, you'll click your name at the top, or actually you can just scroll down. Sorry, guys. So if you go through here and you scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, you can see right here where it says projected PBV. PBV stands for personal bonus volume. So this is what this sole person is projected to have through customer orders, okay? So this is customer auto ships for my husband himself. He's projected to be at 99 BV. That's not a personal auto ship, right? So that means our goals here is we're pushing for the 150, but he only has 99 BV projected. So we're going to take that away from our goal, and he's going to need 51 more, right? To add that to the 99, and that's going to get him to where he needs to be. So I'm going to write down that he needs 51 out of 150 there. So that's the simple math, okay? So for a lot of you guys, if you're just starting out, if you're just building to Ruby, that's what it's gonna look like for most of your boxes, right? You're gonna click on the person, you'll scroll down, you'll see what the projected volume is, you'll take that out of the 400. If you've built some depth, if you've been around for a little bit, if you've stacked distributors, or if you are stacking distributors as you go, stacking distributors means, I gotta remember sometimes terminologies and things. You just talk because this business is such a part of your culture. You're like, I've done this for 6 years. I just talk and I'm like, you guys probably don't know what I'm talking about, some of you. So stacking distributors, when it comes to placement. So when you sign a distributor, you can move their placement. And so all that does is moves their location. That's all that changes there. And so when I'm pushing for a promotion here, so if I'm trying to coach Daniel to go Ruby, this is our first goal. But then we want to stack each box. So I would want an additional distributor placed here, and placed here. So when we're pushing for Ruby, it takes 3, but if we have 6, that's 6 people working with us. That makes it easier. That means if JC gets 400 and then this distributor under her gets 200, that's 200 off. If she gets 200 and the person under her gets 200, that gets the 400, because these 400s, you guys, they're group volume. So that means I have to have 3 people who have at least 400 in team sales from them and any distributors under them. So if I sign up Laura and Laura signs up JC, then Laura and JC's combined volume needs to be at least 400 for that spot. Hopefully I'm not confusing you guys. If I am, y'all tell me I'm confusing you and you ask the questions. Because if you haven't ever met me before, I am what they call anti-green, as in facts, numbers, charts, all of this is not my forte. Okay, I've been failing forward for 6 years, so I'm probably not the one to be doing this, but if I can figure it out, you guys can figure it out. So let me know if you guys have questions as we're going. I'm trying not to go too fast, but also trying not to take too long. Okay, so mind you, my husband has had an account for 5 years, so his is a little cray-cray. So for Alicia, she is pushing Ruby. She is an executive, so she's got a lot of volume. We're just, for the sake of this, going to look at 400 for now. So if we scroll down, she's projected to have 226 in volume. Say, whoop, whoop, go girl. Okay, but again, this is going to be for this box right here, this one. So this is going to be group volume. I need 400 in group volume. So she's got 226. If we scroll down, she's got distributors under her. So if we go and look at one of her distributors, she's not got any projected volume. Go here. Oh, not there. Someone here has projected volume. Okay, there it is. Andrea was killing it last month, okay? It was her first month, and girlfriend was blowing it up. So she's got a projected 447 in volume, okay? So because we're doing this box right here, it's group volume. Any distributor volume under that spot gets to count. So if we add hers in to what we had for Alicia, that's going to give us 673. So that's perfect, okay? So that means of the 400 we needed, we have 673 of the 400 here. Okay, so let's do the next one. The screen protector is coming off the top corner of my screen. It doesn't want to let me click it. All right. All right, so again, we're going to scroll down, look at JC's box. Personal volume here at the top, 415. So we could keep going through. What we would do if I was figuring this out for real, I would go through all of the distributors under her and make sure I count any volume. For the sake of this, we'll stop at 400. So she has 415 out of 400. All right, and then the last one, again, Shannon went executive last month, so she has a lot more volume than we need. So we're just going to get us to where we need to be. So her projected volume is 149. We got to keep digging. Trinity has been killing it, so I know she's got some volume. All right, she's got 350. So right there gives me my 400. Now, again, we would keep going, because I know mine has volume too. And we would add in this volume and any other volume in this spot. Anyone under Shannon is going to count towards her 400. But for the sake of this, we're going to stop there. Okay, so that puts this third leg over here. You'll probably hear that too. So legs are your like leading people. So like JC's one leg, Alicia's one leg, Shannon is one leg. It takes 3 legs to promote. You've got 3 people that you've got to work with to build your chart. Okay. So from here, now is where we can affect the extra. So I have extra volume in all 3 of my boxes. So I've got 15 BV extra from JC. I've got 273 from Alicia, and then I've got 99 from Shannon. So that means over my minimums, I can take that off that extra 650. And so that changed this down to, and then I don't feel like that math was right. Maybe it was. Yep, okay, it was right. All right, so now to say how much I need total, I'm gonna add up what I still need. So JC is done. We have what we need there. So that one, done. This one is done. And then this one is done. So that means the volume that I still need is this up here at the top under Daniel for him to be commission qualified. And then I need the extra. So if I add those 2 up, 263 and 51, that means I would need 314 in volume. So I would have 16,000 out of 200. Now, if you are just starting out, this is probably so confusing, and that's okay because it won't look as confusing for you because you're just starting out. and you'll be building your chart. You'll be building all of this as you go. So it's one of those things that you really do kind of hands-on learn as you're going through. You see the customers come in, you see where the volume goes and things like that. But this is a little bit more of an advanced version, which you'll need eventually. So let me know if you have any questions in the chat about how to come up with the volume, where you go in the app to find it, or how to fill in a chart, because that's pretty much the basis of it. And then I just update it as I go. I checked my downline orders. Let me show you guys that. All right. No one judged me for all these tabs up. They're all things I want to remember. So while we're finishing this up, is the last thing I want to show you guys. Oh, look, downline orders. Perfect. So I check this every day. And if you go and look, you'll see any enrollments in your team. So this is if you sign a customer distributor, if someone under you signs a customer distributor, if I sign up Laura, Laura signs up Chad, Chad goes and signs a customer, Chad's customer is going to show up. Like this is literally anyone in your e-suite, under you, in your chart whatsoever, in your organization, all of their orders are going to show up here. So we had two customers today, or a customer and API order. So I can then go in and I can look at who they're under. And for example, this is under Andrea. So we already factored that one in. I told you guys she was killing it. And so pretend we haven't factored this in. I'm just checking this at the end of the day. I did my chart on the first and I'm like, awesome. Andrea signed 50 BV. So I'm gonna come back over here and do something here. So I'll add that. We're at $4.99, but she just signed a 50 BV customer. So that means I get to add that in. That'll change this here. And that will take 50 BV off of the extra. And all in all, 50 BV off of what we need all over. And I'll do this every day, every time we get a customer, and keep up with it that way. So hopefully you guys, if you have any questions, put them in the chat because there's no questions in the chat. So I'm going to take that as I'm killing explaining this to you guys if you don't correct me and tell me that you have questions. The last thing I talked about moving. So if I sign a customer, okay, so Andrea, I'm going to pretend I'm you. I'm Andrea. I just signed this 50 BV customer, okay? And so this customer is mine. I'm going to go and I'm like, okay, I need this 50 BV right here under Daniel, okay? But I signed it. I'm not Daniel. How do I put it to Daniel? As long as Daniel is in my downline. I can go to, if you go to It Works, go to your e-suite, you'll go to Reports, the top, hit Additional, and then you'll hit Personally Enrolled Team. Okay? And then if you have someone eligible to move, you'll be able to scroll through here and it'll be highlighted in green. And so you'll go and you'll click this drop down arrow and it'll have move. You'll click move. You'll type in the distributor ID number for who you want to move it to. So I would have to look it up and look up Daniel's ID number, and I could type it in, I could hit move and confirm. And what it's going to do, it's going to change the placement. That's still my customer. I still enrolled them. I still have enrollership. I still get the bonus off of them, all of the things, but it changes the placement of the volume. So instead of it being 50 BV under Mariah, it would be 50 BV under Daniel. It would count towards what I need in that box. And that's important because we want every single distributor you sign, you guys, we want them to kill it. We want them to work this business. We want them to sign 1 million customers every 2 days, okay? But the truth is, this business is very simple. Anyone can do this and anyone can be successful, but just because anyone can doesn't mean everyone will, okay? Would you hear me again? Just because anyone can do this business and be successful does not mean everyone will be. It takes self-discipline. It takes self-motivation. It takes showing up. It takes putting in the work. And there's people who just want to get rich quick, who just want it to be easy, who just want to hope and it all come together. And so not everyone's going to do this, no matter how bad we want it for them. So if I sign up, for example, let's say JC here, has no volume. She's at she's at 0. Okay. Now I want to go Ruby this month. I'm Daniel. I'm ready to go Ruby, but JC's not working. JC has no volume. I still can go Ruby if I sign 400 in volume and I move it under JC. So the same way I just walked you through how we could go on eSuite and we can move customers, I can do that to the point where I've got 400, 500, 600 of volume in that spot so that it fills back up to meet the minimum. It knocks off any extra volume I need or whatever it is. And I can still achieve my goal, even if the people under me aren't quite working with me yet. So, that's a lot of information, you guys. Hopefully I shared it well. Hopefully it wasn't too all over the place and confusing. And don't be hard on yourself if you don't understand. Reach out to your upline and be like, hey, do a Zoom with me and walk me through my chart, okay? Like me and Hannah literally are doing this like tomorrow, where she's pushing for double diamond, you guys, this month. Okay, let's just put that out there. Girlfriend is running for double, and that's so dang exciting. But so we're like, it's a big chart, things are shifting, and she's like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing on this anymore. Come help me. And so we're hopping on Zoom, and I'm literally going to do her chart and walk her through how I'm doing it the same way I did you guys, except for her chart. Offer to do that to your team. If you got someone who doesn't understand or isn't getting it or is new, walk them through how to set it up. Look, if I can figure out how to screen share my phone on here, you guys can do it too, all right? You can walk them through verbatim exactly how to do this. If you have questions, reach out and ask them. We don't want you guys like feeling stuck or feeling like you're drowning or feeling like you're overwhelmed. Ask the questions and we're going to help you get the answer. Your enroller will help you get the answer. Their upline can help you get the answer. I mean, if you even want to go there, one of Hannah's girl reached out to me today and she was like, I got questions about charting. Hannah said, reach out to you. Like you've got someone there ready to help you. You just got to go out and ask the questions because this is really a fundamental thing that can help you stay crystal clear on where you're going and what you need to get there. So I'm taking the green hat off because that was a lot, you guys. I need a nap, but I think I did good. I'm real proud of myself. And we haven't done this in so long. So I'm excited. I really just feel so dang ready for this month. So if you guys are not Ruby, your goal getting off this call is a minimum of 3 distributors this week, but you want to be pushing for 6. Because you want to go through, you want to stack under so that you're building with momentum, you're building with people, you're building with depth. And guys, it's so much more fun when you're not doing it alone. So I love you all. I'm going to pray us out. This will be posted on my YouTube tonight because you may want to record it because it was a little fast. But dear Lord Jesus, thank you so much for this space where we get to come together. We get to grow more in our knowledge of our business, more in our knowledge of ourselves, and hopefully a little closer to you as well. I'm just so excited for what is unfolding, for what you're doing, for what is coming, for what you're building behind the scenes. I just believe so wholeheartedly that this is our time, that things are aligning, that we've been faithful in the drought, that we've been faithful when there was no rain, when the harvest wasn't coming, when we were looking left and right and we didn't understand why it wasn't happening for us, but we showed up anyway. We planted the seeds anyway. We believed for it anyway. And I believe that it is our time now, that all of the waiting, all of the praying, all of the not understanding, it's coming together and we are not going to let up. We are going to keep our foot on the gas. We are going to faithfully plant the seeds, show up when we don't feel like it, and do all the things. We are going to pray like it all depends on you, Lord, and we're going to work like it all depends on us. And I believe big things are going to come together faster than any of us can imagine. And I am so excited to watch as everything unfolds. We are so thankful for you and all you're doing here. In Jesus' name, amen. And I love you guys, and I will see you next week. I like this time. A bunch of you guys still hopped on, so I feel like it kind of worked for you too. So 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you again next week, guys. Love you. Bye.